Hello guys, and welcome to Ride VIP, the Rideshare channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video I want to very quickly just show you how much money I made. And I literally just drove 100 miles on a Tesla. Just take my word for it. So hopefully my word is good, right? So this is all the different trips I had. We'll go back to that. I just want to... Oh my gosh. This is what I want. Okay, as you can see, look, I was online for 4 hours and 3 minutes and I only made $60. That's like $15 per hour. Wow, that is incredible. My gosh. That's oh man. I'm lost for words, guys. I was actually sitting at a Hertz location, right? And I actually talked to somebody back there, and he was just like telling me how he's only making $15 per, for Uber per hour, $15. When I stopped driving Uber, when my BMW was totaled, not my fault, by the way, but man, I was like making like $19 an hour average, and I was thinking like, whoa, that's not good. And now it's 15.
Turn left onto Union Road.
I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm actually gonna try to start moving towards Charlotte. By the way, the 100 miles that I drove, I was not doing any unnecessary driving. I was just basically just doing all the work and accepting all the cheap rides. And as you know, maybe here for the first time, but I only have Uber. This is the only platform I could work on at this point. I need to look into some other ride sharing apps and just to see like how they are, because there's others out there. I just haven't tried yet. But Lyft has basically banned my account permanently, so I only have Uber. So now I'm scared to get kicked off, of course. So they put the fear of God in me. I thought I was already doing everything I can to basically provide like the best service. Apparently, Lyft thinks I wasn't good enough with a 5-star rating and 5,071 rides and 2 years and 1 month of service. But anyways, just thought I'll throw this out there. So this is why when you see the different rides that I've taken, let me just show you those rides now. This is not the typical rides I would take. And let's see, I'm just gonna put self-driving. That way, if anything, I'm good. This is what the Tesla's for, so I'm actually driving a Tesla right now. But look how bad these rides are paying. I'm just gonna slowly scroll so you can see exactly what they are.
That was 1,000 feet. Turn right onto Robin Wood Road.
That was beginning of the day. But let's just get back to this map setting so you can kind of see where I'm driving. Except I'm not really using my Uber GPS. I'm just basically
now turn right onto Robin Wood Road
using Tesla's GPS. I forgot how to turn the sound off on actual GPS. Earlier I tried to do it, but it was just the radio. So I think I might have to go like the settings and whatnot, but that's fine. Let the sound play, I guess, for now. Guys, $15 an hour, like, wow, like that is bad. That is really bad. So what is this? Iron Station. Okay, I guess that's basically in Gastonia. So I guess I'll go there. Okay, I'll just end that other trip, which is I was just trying to go to the airport because just drop somebody off, but I'm over here in just Gastonia. Normally I don't even go here, but I think now it doesn't really even matter. They're just gonna give me all the same type of rides anyways if I work elsewhere. But guys, I'm not oh my gosh, like I'm sorry, like I have to keep repeating myself, but like I'm shocked. Like I'm honestly shocked right now because I'm making $15 an hour, and this is not even my clean pay. This is gross. This is not net. This is absolutely mind-blowing. Who's gonna want to work at $15 an hour? Then you gotta take all the expenses out. That's just like, wow, you know. And recently I've done some math, and you know, I determined how much it cost me to operate a Tesla, but it's somewhere between $5 and $7 per hour. But what that means, even at $5, that means I'm making $10 an hour. At $7, I'm making $8. Like, what? That is crazy. That is crazy. But what I'm gonna end up doing, guys, is I will work a whole week, and I'm gonna look at all the hours, and I'm gonna then determine per amount of hours that I worked and how much money that I make, and then taking into account how much Tesla actually cost me, because I still have to do charging and things of that nature. And then I'm gonna post a video to then figure out what is it really costing me per hour. Somebody actually in the comments, and you guys know who you are, you gave me that idea to actually calculate per hour type of expense, which I think is a great idea, because at the end of the day, this is not my car, so I don't have to worry about any additional expenses except paying for the rental, paying for the rental insurance, paying for the charging. So that's easy to be able to just calculate and then determine like what is the cost per hour. But right now it's Wednesday. You know, what can I say? You know, it's there's nothing surging and stuff like that, and I'm only making 15. Even if I'm gonna be making like 19, that's still very bad, because if you take like $17 out of it, that's gonna be like what? Like I'm making like $13 an hour. That's like below minimum wage in some states. And now Taco Bell is paying $15. Like that's just like normal pay per hour. And you guys, if you don't know where I'm coming from, guys, you need to understand like one thing, guys. I do not have a slave mentality. I have a free mentality. Doing side gigs like this, kind of like Uber, and making money that way, I really enjoy to do that. But I choose not to have a job because I'm trying to build my own business, and that takes time, obviously. And just because you're building a business doesn't mean it's going to be profitable. I think I'm doing a lot better than I used to in my business. I mean, right now there's a lot of expenses involved, and if you've been watching my videos, then you understand I'm trying to have an automotive type of business where I have a used car lot, and auto repair type of place, and selling used car parts. And in order for me to get to the next level, I got to build my shop. And right now I'm building my sort of like mini warehouse, more like 2 storage units, if you could look at it that way, kind of like that I could be running my business out of, except it's going to be at my home. So this could, whatever I'm getting ready to do for eBay, which is going to be like a parts business, it could easily be run out of 2 storage units, like 10 by 20 storage units. Ultimately, that's sort of like the size of these 2 storages that I have for my parts and stuff. And I'm doing pretty good. I'm building it. I've done a lot. I built a floor in one of them, and I already put all the walls up and everything. Of course, it's got a roof. Now I can start building shelving and everything like that. And then I got to do the same thing for the second one. It's already got a roof. I just got to do the walls. I'm talking about like, you know, putting like plywood on the walls and stuff, like drywall or whatever, because I really don't need nothing else except like, you know, just plywood walls. So it looks somewhat decent. And then I'm gonna start listing some parts, but I'm not gonna waste your time by talking about that kind of stuff because you guys are into rideshare. But the reason I'm mentioning this type of stuff is because rideshare used to be great. Like, I was actually putting my business on hold. I wasn't building my business. I was investing in my business, but I wasn't doing anything to actually make money in my business. And that's because I would look at how much money I'm making on Uber or Lyft, and I'm thinking, well, if I, do things somewhat proper, I'm gonna make very similar type of income, and that's not taking growth into account, right? And having your business, it's a lot harder than just driving for Uber. Like, just easy, drive for Uber, that's it, And I was even telling like my wife, and I'm like, she's like, why aren't you doing that? And I'm like, well, I'm making the same money as I will in my business, because I'm pretty good with determining how much money I'm gonna spend on my business, how much money I'm gonna make. I understand how much time I have to put in. The only thing that I cannot put into perspective is how long it actually takes to grow something, like grow your business and scale it and those kind of things, because that's something that's very hard to determine. Just because you're excited about your business doesn't mean that others are, and this is something you have to take into account. This is why like 80 to 90% of businesses fail within the 5 years, because the person that's starting a business, they're like, oh, everybody's gonna come to my business, everybody loves it. But reality, nobody cares about your business and nobody's gonna come to it. Like, so you have to make sure the way that you build it, that you have your marketing in place and you're not getting yourself into all this unnecessary debt, especially if this is like a small business. Like, I'm not talking about any startups that's gonna build the next Uber, or like the next Apple or Microsoft. That's gonna be a little bit different. But I'm just starting a small eBay business that can grow into the large one, because I definitely have that potential to do so. With that being said, oh yeah, I hope I have my sound off. Good. I have my sound off, okay, because I did turn it on earlier. But I own 34 cars, and some of those cars are going to be parts cars, and some of those cars I drive, and some of the cars I will be fixing and selling. All the cars I buy, they're at various stages of disrepair, and I'm a mechanic basically, and I know how to do everything with, when it comes to cars. There's some stuff I don't know, right? But then that doesn't change the fact that I'll easily be able to figure it out. Like, it's just, well, maybe not easily, but I'll be able to figure out. So I'm not really troubled by it. I already made so much investments in all kinds of tools and diagnostic equipment, plus, like teaching myself different things, that I'll do fine in that department. But then that's for fixing cars. But starting a used car parts business, now that's a little different, because all you gotta do is, like, you don't have to be a mechanic. You just have to disassemble stuff, and you just have to basically list parts on eBay and just sell them and ship them. That's easy. And I'm thinking that this is probably something that's going to take over. It's just I have the opportunities to do other things, obviously, like having a small car lot, but I will determine what's better and what's, I'm gonna try to see if I could stay busy, but if I can't, then I'll have to always have a backup plan. I always try to have a backup plan, guys, because that is key. And this is why it's taking me so long, is because my backup plan is to basically finance everything for cash. That way, if my business will fail, or if things are not working out the way I like them to, I could easily put a stop to it and do something else that makes me money, like right now, which is driving for Uber. So I gotta pick up somebody at the hospital, and I'm hoping they put the correct address in, because usually they don't, and that means they're gonna waste my time. And I hope it's somebody here, like, really, like, to put the right address, because it's a lot of guesswork. They never put the stuff correctly. But anyways, I will just turn around, and this is the pickup in. So it's a schedule, right? Which is interesting. So hopefully the person that's scheduled it correctly. And apparently I have a lot of time. Okay, so anyways, guys, I think I don't want to really try to stretch this video like any longer than it should be. It's never my idea to really stretch some of these videos out, but the message that I like to get across is to try to show you guys by action like something else that I'm working on besides driving for Uber or Lyft, because you have to think about those things, especially with very low wages like we're seeing right now. Because certainly with these type of prices, like literally, like it just doesn't make any sense to even rent anything and to try to work, try to make money. But you can't really judge a book by its cover. Also, you can't judge the income according to just 4 hours of working. Of course, when you look at the 4 hours of working, you're seeing that it's only like $15 an hour. That might be how the whole 12 hours is going to be, but definitely pretty bad. But you have to give it a whole week and just see how much overall you're gonna make. But as me, like renting this Tesla, I have no other options except to try to look at the whole week overall and see what the income is gonna be like. Obviously, I said it enough. $15, like I'm not impressed with it, because I'm not even gonna make $15 obviously, and then I'm gonna spend money on the rental and everything else, and then I'm gonna make like $9 an hour. So one thing that I want to mention to you guys is like a normal job takes taxes out right away from your paycheck, okay? And that is like no fun. So you come to work, they take taxes out, and then when they do that, you're left with a lot less. So maybe it's like if you have a $15 an hour job, you might be left with $9 an hour. That's what you're going to be left with, okay? And that's about to be expected, right? Because in taxes, and then you do taxes at the end of the year, and you might get some of that back, unless you made too much. But when you're doing a business, you don't pay any taxes. You're just making all this money, right? And then you're not paying any taxes. And that's a big problem, because now you're seeing that I'm really not gonna make $15 an hour. I'm gonna make a lot less. But you make this huge amount at the end of the year, and you had all these expenses, and you might actually end up owing money to Texas, because you have made a lot of money, but you spent a lot of money to operate. This is why it's really important to do things the proper way. And then you're gonna have a major disappointment when it comes tax time. And everyone has a different opinion. Some people say put 30% away for taxes, so you could actually do them at the end of the year. By the way, I will be speaking to a tax professional, and I already talked to one, and he's going to explain some stuff when it comes, probably going to do it a little bit before tax season, so that he could give you some advice on that, because I can't, obviously, because I'm not a tax professional. So by no means, like I'm trying to give you guys advice. But all I am trying to say is that you have to take that into account. You have to think about taxes, because if you don't, that could really bite you. And I know some people that had to pay taxes at the end of the year, and they had like no money left over whatsoever, but they made a lot of money. And that is a problem. That is a big problem. So this is why it's very disappointing to make $15, because now you have to take income out of it. Now you have to pay taxes on top of it, especially if you're somebody that's single. You don't have a family. Like for me, I don't have to worry about it too much, because I got a wife, I got 3 kids. But then again, right, I have all these different expenses that you guys don't have if you guys don't have any kids. So I get to keep a little bit more money. But do I? Because all my money, like literally, like it just goes towards my family. This is why I try to invest in some other stuff that I could sell, because from that money I could then buy like parts or whatever. And that's kind of like what I've been doing. So I've been just kind of like reinvesting myself, or just really working a lot so that I could make even more, so I could have enough for my family, and then I could have enough for growing my business. But all I'm doing is putting time in. But guess what, guys? I work a lot of overtime, lots of overtime. I do not get paid overtime, and you don't either. So that's something else to take into account. Like, if we're working for $15 an hour, now we work over 40 hours, right? Sometimes I think some of us are working about 60 hours at the very minimum. Those extra 20 hours you could have been getting paid at a normal job that's $15 an hour, time and a half, which would be like what, like $22 an hour? Now that would be kind of like ideal. And I know ultimately I will end up putting in that much time. And on top of that, there's going to be time spent for charging. There's going to be time spent for commuting. I'm commuting like 1 hour each way. So if this is how it's going to be at $15 an hour, I don't know, guys, but if that's how it's going to be, then like no, I'm not going to work for those wages, because that's just way too little. And that's just really ridiculous. That's kind of like teenager wages, you know. Let me know, guys, your experience with how much income you're making, because that's just sorry type of income, you know. Now, with all that being said, guys, we'll see overall how much it's going to be. Right now, my bonuses, they're not great. Let me show you kind of like what the bonuses are like. So look at how like terrible this is. Look, 7 out of 50 rides, and of course I'm starting today, which is a Wednesday. This will end basically Friday morning at 4 a.m. Just $25 extra, completing basically 60 rides. That's just like not even 50 cents a ride. And then this next one, they want me to do 60 rides, and I'll get like 80. So that's like what, like, let's just say $1.10, $1.05 extra. And that might be gimmicky as well. Like earlier today, I recorded a video where let me just show you this very quickly so you could actually understand. I just will mention this again very quickly. I'm not going to try to take too much of your time, but take a look at this this ride that I did at 5:39 p.m. I made $21.73. Let's just open it up and you will see exactly kind of like what I'm talking about. This actual trip was only paying $18.48, but because I was in the surge area, I got that surge of $2.25, plus I got zero emission incentive, $1, right? You calculate all of this cost, and now it's like $21 for a trip that says it's 26.5. But I needed to go 4.5 miles to pick up this person, so totaling 31 miles. So 31 miles, it's not even paying $31. It's paying $21. So as you could see, it's not even paying me $1 per mile. Like this is really bad, really bad. So I kind of look at that and I'm kind of thinking, you know, here I got a Tesla. Let's imagine I bought a Tesla, and I hope I said it correctly, Tesla. So let's say I bought a Tesla so I could actually do this type of work. And then I look at these numbers, guys, I would be highly disappointed, because I'm thinking like, what? So I'm thinking I have a better car. I should be getting paid better price. But instead, I'm getting paid like I have some 2008 car. That would be sort of like the pricing. But anyways, that's all I want to say to you guys right now. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me. And please don't think I'm complaining. Instead, think about it like this. I'm also trying to offer solutions, and you already know what your solution is going to be. You're going to have to think about something else besides this. If this is the only job that you're doing, it's either going to have to be like a main job, and this is kind of like a little side hustle because you can't get any overtime at work, or you're working on your small business and you're trying to catapult your business to the next level. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's just obviously I have expenses coming into me like almost at all angles, because there's certain expenses I don't have. Like I don't have a car payment yet. Hopefully I will not. I'm trying to not tempt myself, because sometimes I'm very tempted to get one. I don't have a mortgage payment. That's already good. So these things are helping me out. But I have tons of expenses, especially for food, for clothing for my kids, and all these other expenses. And my fuel expenses on my Range Rover was like $1,800 per month. I calculated everything, which when I was done calculating, my income was $9 an hour. So I'm looking at this, and the income is going to stay very similar. So this Tesla's not costing me any more money than my Range Rover. It costing me about the same, except it's gonna end up costing me less if I work every single day and I just keep on working. I don't like really lose any days, because I don't have to worry about any additional expenses that comes with the car. But I'm looking at these prices as if I was in my own personal car. Not only that, I have to take fuel into account and make, like not 15, but now maybe like $9 or $8 an hour. But now there's also additional expenses. There's insurance for that car. There's just regular upkeep, like maintenance. And then obviously, you could have a major breakdown, which could put you out of business very quick. So I'm looking at this income. I'm thinking like, man, whatever I have planned, it's way better than this, because this is just bad right now. Like, this is bad with a B. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Take care of yourself, and see you guys in the next video.